Hi, and welcome to part 2 of your What's Next series, post 30-day challenge. Thanks so much for joining me. And I'm back today with Stacy. You guys know Stacy, right? You know her by now. Okay, so today we're going to focus on straight-legged poses, which are difficult because they require a tremendous amount of opening in your hamstrings and the ability to connect your core while your hamstrings are stretched. So it's much more difficult, and when you're trying to balance, it's more weight, it's a longer lever, so it's more challenging on your core to try to hold that weight. So it requires like a lot more flexibility and strength. What do I mean by like a long lever? Like for example, if I hold this block close to me, then it's not a lot of weight. The further I take it out, oh, it's heavier and heavier to try to hold that block. So your leg is like the same, like whenever you do core work, if you have your knees bent, it's going to be easier on your core. So you get the idea. As we go to try to do these, as we extend the legs straight out, oh, it's more taxing on my core. It makes me want to give up and slouch. You get the idea. So you don't want to do that. That's not good. So in today's video, we're going to figure out how we can work to these advanced standing poses, doing it the right way, using the right muscles, making sure that we're making our core and our posture stronger, thus making our body healthier instead of sinking in. Okay, so let's begin today's in child's pose. All right, so assume the child's pose and feel as you press down into your hands, through the reach of your hands, you can start to lengthen through your lower back. Feel through the stretch, the rooting of your legs, you can start to lengthen through your middle and your upper back. Use your legs to elongate, use your hands to elongate. So the arms and legs are feeding life and energy into the spine and length. Then come up onto your hands and your knees. Stretch back into downward dog. And let's start to warm up the shoulders as you inhale, glide forward into plank pose. As you exhale, stretch back into down dog. Inhale into plank pose. Exhale, stretch back into down dog. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale back into dog. Then walk your hands back to your feet and fold forward at the back of your mat. Let your head drop. Bend your knees a little. Roll yourself up to stand. Press down evenly into your feet. Inhale, raise your arms up. Grow your body through the reach of your legs, through the reach of your arms. Reach in opposite directions. Feel the spine getting longer in between, and then fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, find a flat back, elongate. Exhale, walk it out, plank pose. As you inhale, lengthen in your plank. Find your mountain in your plank. Then as you exhale, lift your left leg up an inch. Change legs, right leg up an inch. Change legs, left leg up. Change right leg up. Stretch back into downward dog. One hand at a time, walk your hands back to your feet. Try not to let your hips wiggle so much side to side. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, press into your feet, raise your arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Walk your hands out, plank pose. Hold in your plank, raise your right leg up an inch. Keep your belly in. Collarbones broad, change legs, left leg up an inch. Change legs, right leg up an inch. And left leg up an inch. Then stretch back into downward dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Walk it out into plank. Lower slowly into chaturanga, knees down or legs straight. Lift back up. Stretch back into down dog. Raise your right leg up from the inner thigh. Exhale your knee to your chest. Shift into plank and pull up. Inhale, reach back up, three-legged dog. Exhale the knee to the chest, pull up. Inhale, reach back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your chest, pull up. Step your foot up by your thumb. Lower your back knee down. Okay, now we're gonna start up the lawnmower. Push down with your left hand and then reach up with your right arm up to the ceiling. Pull the lawnmower cord up. And then it usually takes like 4 times to get that thing going. Bring your right hand back down and then pull it back up. Good, one more, hand back down. This is one of the new trick motors, so it only takes 3. Twist, take the arm up. Now curl your back toes under. Engage your right outer hip, push straight down through your right foot and raise your back leg up. Bring your hand down, step back into plank pose. Lower slow into low plank, knees down or legs straight, your call. Lift back up into plank, stretch back into dog. Raise your left leg up. Exhale, knee to your chest, pull up. Inhale, stretch back up. Exhale, knee to your chest. Inhale, stretch back up. But notice how as Stacy's reaching, how her core stays engaged. The rib cage stays aiming straight to the hips instead of dipping to the floor. Why can't you be more like Stacy? Shift into plank and pull your knee up to your chest. Last one. Step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Drop your back knee down. Okay, let's get that lawnmower going. Twist. Take your left arm up. And hand back down. Twist, take your left arm up. Hand back down. Last one, twist it up. Push into your left heel, hug your left hip in, curl your back toes and lift your back knee up. Then bring your hand down, step back into plank pose. Lower slowly into low plank. Come back up, stretch back into down dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees and sit back. Stand Samastiti. Okay, now we're gonna do the block hip strengthener. So the first thing that you wanna be able to feel is back against the wall posture. So you find your mountain pose line, your gravitational line, so that if all of a sudden gravity became twice as heavy, you wouldn't sink forward or back. Everything is just lining straight up over your ankles, so you're right up over that ankle line, midfoot area. Okay, so once you got that feeling, you're going to put your right foot on the block and step your left foot back about 2.5 feet. I don't know, how many feet? How many feet is that? That's like, step back about that much. Okay, so then back heel goes up and keeping your spine very tall like you're balancing a book on top of your head, slowly lower your back knee down so it's close to the ground. You can adjust. Okay, now as you hold there in that low position, feel your weight in the center of your right heel. Don't let it twist. Keep your right knee pointing forward and see how Stacy's right hip is engaged. The pelvis is pointing straight ahead. She's tall through the spine, chest is open. Then push through your heel and pull up tall through your spine as you come up. You should feel like I got pulleys rigged up to your head and I'm pulling you up from your crown. Slowly lower yourself down as you inhale. Make sure that right leg is all tracking. We got to get this bent knee strength with the spine first before you can try anything with a straight leg. Then come back up. Lower slowly. Feel that you can engage your hip, keep your leg turned on with your spine tall with the knee bent, and then come back up. Slowly lower. Pause, strong outer hip, and then come up with your tall spine. Nice job. Change sides now. All right. So before we try to go up fancy legs, straight legs, first just being able to do it with the bent knee. Got to learn the bent knee first. Or as Kanye says, you got to learn to crawl before you ball. Slowly bend. You know that one? That's not. He's a crazy person. Okay, so as you hang out here, push straight down through your left heel, left knee straight ahead, hip engaged so that your hips are pointing straight ahead, spine tall, and then push through your heel and come up. Inhale to slowly lower. And come back up. Slowly lower. We'll hold in that down position for a moment. Notice the foot wanting to twist. Press into the heel. Strong hips, strong core, and come up. 2 more times. Lower slowly. Back up. Last one. Lower slowly. And come back up. Nice. Step up to the top of your mat. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees and sit back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back, elongate. Step back into plank pose. Lower slowly into chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog, your call. Exhale, downward dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. One more sun salutation B. Look in between your hands. Step or walk all the way up to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips back. Stretch your arms. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale into chair. Bend knees and sit back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower into chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot up, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. As you hold in your down dog, feel your breath flowing in and out through your nose. Then step your right foot up by your right thumb. Engage the muscles in your outer hip and come up for crescent lunge. So feel that same work as when you're on the block, pressing even into the foot, the outer hip engaged, the spine tall. Then arms down at your side, lean your chest out over your knee. Now keep the hip spine core connection as you set your left hand down and twist. So we've been here before as we did the lawnmower thing, but just a little bit different, coming from upright as opposed to from the ground up. Then bring your hand down, step back, vinyasa, or just go straight back into down dog. Step your left foot up by your left thumb. As you press straight down to that heel, like you're standing up to your leg, come on up. Come right up through the midline with your spine instead of leaning right or left. And your arms, that's like another lever. As the arms go up, your body will want to give up by pitching the ribs forward. Keep your rib cage in your body so you can strengthen your core through the reach of your arms as opposed to sink into your joints. Then bring your arms to your side, lean out over your knee, keeping your chest open. And set your right hand down, twist. Bring your hand down, step back into plank pose. Take a vinyasa or just glide right back into down dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose, bend knees and sit back. Come up to stand, Samasthiti. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find a flat back. Step back and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot up by your right thumb. Warrior one. Inhale, come up. Then straighten your right leg. Hands to hips, step your back foot a little closer. Okay, now the tension in your hamstrings as you go to fold forward is going to make your spine want to round. So I want you to start to tip with your hands on your hips and feel your long spine, your strong back muscles holding your collarbones broad and the backs of the shoulders broad so that your shoulders aren't sinking onto your chest at all. Now the point where you can feel your body starting to hunch over, I want you to just pause there. Breathe into it. And now see if you can slide your hands down your leg. Maybe you can get your fingertips onto blocks. And then with the flat back. Oh yeah. Okay, so because Stacy's got this mobility in her hamstrings, she's able to go onto the medium blocks and be on the fingertips, and she has her core connection with her spine. So I want you to be able to find that, whatever it is for you. Then take those blocks a foot in front of your foot, and you're going to maintain that as you step up to balance. Lean into your right foot. Now put a little bend in your right knee, and then keep this hip tracking, ankle, knee, hip, just like when you're standing up on the block as you go to step up. Bend that right knee slightly, and then grow from your back leg out through your spine One long line, one Tadasana line. And now as you balance on your right tripod foot, the big toe mountain, pinky toe mountain heel, can you start to plug the thigh bone up without the spine hunching out? Because remember, that hamstring tension in your right leg is going to want to make your spine hunch. So grow the back of the leg longer as you breathe the spine long. Feel your strong core supporting you. Navel in, collarbones broad. Good. Now, we're going to bring the weight into the foot and use the core fully now to support your whole body. Float your arms back behind you. It's a freaking long hold. Whew. Then come up to stand. Bring your knee up. Raise your arms up. So nothing new. We've done these transitions before, but just now completely focus on being able to keep the action that you're intending. Bend your right knee, wrap your left leg over, cross your left arm under. Then uncross your arms and your legs and stand in mountain. So now you're going to bring your right knee up to your chest. And then reach down onto the inside of your knee and take your big toe. Stay with the knee bent at first and stand up as tall as you can. So find your mountain pose line from your left ankle all the way through your spine. Then see if you can start to stretch your leg out in front of you without losing the Tadasana alignment. Modification, you just put your right heel up on like a chair seat or something instead and use a strap. Now bring your left hand to your foot and twist. I'm going to try not to knock Stacy over as I'm showing the modification. So the modification, I just got my heel up on here. Then I look for the mountain pose line, then I got the strap, and I pretend like I'm holding the foot. And I work this variation, raising my heel higher and higher over time until I can look like this without going like that. Look forward, raise your arms up. Legs strong, legs straight. Then lower your leg, release your arms down at your side. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find a flat back. Step back into down dog or Adho Vinyasa if you like. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, come up. Bring your hands onto your hips. Straighten your left leg. Step your back foot a little bit closer. Now start to lean out over your leg. But keep both legs strong like pillars and feel where your spine wants to round. Can your strong back muscles keep your blades on the back, not letting the shoulders sink onto the chest? And then either slide your hand down your leg or put your fingertips on the blocks. And feel which height is appropriate for you. Can you get the flat back on the tall height, or do you need a chair seat instead or something? No shame in that. And in fact, better to work with the hands higher and actually get the length that you want, because then you're strengthening the right muscles. If you're hunched over with your hands on the floor, that's not doing no good for nobody. This is a horrible double negative. What does it really mean? Okay, now from here, bend your knee a little, slide your hands in front of you, and then lean into that foot, keeping a bend in the left knee as you raise your back leg up. So now hold that back leg strong, grow from the back leg out through the spine. Feel your spine long. Then see if you can start to feed length through the left leg. Keep breathing that left leg towards straight. Low abdominal, supporting your lumbar. Now maybe you can float your arms back without hunching over, keeping the blades on the back. Good, then slowly come up to stand. Without your foot touching the floor, bring your knee up, raise your arms up. Tall up over your left ankle. Now bend your left knee and wrap your right leg over. Cross your right elbow under. Then uncross your arms and your legs, stand tall, mountain pose. Find your gravitational line, your mountain pose line, everything balanced up over your ankles. Then remember, modification, you put your foot up on a shelf, desk, chair, whatever, so you can stand tall. Otherwise, hug your knee up. Then take your big toe, still holding your mountain pose line. Start to stretch your leg out in front of you. Now change hands and twist. Turn your chest forward, raise your arms up, legs straight out in front of you, and lower your leg down. Release your arms at your side. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Squat down for crow pose. Hook your knees into your outer upper arms and practice leaning into your chaturanga arms. As you tuck your buttocks under and pull up through your belly, slide up your arms and start to straighten your arms. Then float back. Step or make your way back into downward facing dog. Vashisthasana, side plank. So remember, you can lower your left knee down as you open up into side plank, or just roll onto the outside edge of your left foot and take your right arm up. Downward dog, stretch back. Change sides, roll to the outside edge of your right foot and stretch your left arm up. Bring your hand down, stretch back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Then straighten your right leg. Step your back foot a little bit closer and interlock your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders open. Start to lean halfway out over your leg. Pause right there. As your hips reach straight back, reach your chest forward. Get as long as you can. Now just feel the spot where if you try to go any deeper, you'll feel your spine start to round. And that's going to be your ideal spot for twisted triangle. Now fold all the way, knuckles up and over. Press into your feet and inhale back up. Right hand on your hip, raise your left arm straight up. Reach and twist for twisted triangle. So find that sweet spot, put your hand down, and then fill in the gap between your hand and the floor. Whatever it is, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, doesn't matter to me. What's more important is that you get the right muscles in the spine to turn on, and you can start to connect into the feet evenly, so your legs are supporting you. Now, as you go to step up into twisted half moon, you're going to keep that same amount of propping, slide it a foot in front of you, and keeping your right hip on its track, push down through the heel, balance the hip over, just like in the step up work. Grow your spine first up through your crown, and then as you stretch your back leg, see if you can straighten the right leg all the way. Remember, you can keep the knee bent a little to help with your length, or a lot of. Then bring your right hand down, fingertips to the ground, raise your back leg up, and lower your left leg to meet your right. Let your head drop. Inhale to a flat back. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. All right, part 2, step your left foot. Inhale, come up for warrior 1. Straighten your leg, clasp your hands behind your back, other index finger on top this time, back foot comes a little closer. Roll your shoulders back, inhale. And as you exhale, start to lean forward. Find that sweet spot where you try to go any deeper, you're gonna start to hunch. Blades stay on the back, your strong back muscles are supporting your open chest. Weak back muscles, closed chest. Okay, and now lengthen all the way out of your leg. Press down through your feet. Inhale, come back up. Left hand on your hip, raise your right arm straight up. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Find that sweet spot. Put your hand down and twist. Yeah, Stacy could put her hand on the floor and just fall over in a heap, but we don't want to, it's not so good for your body. So you want to feel that you're at the right spot where you can get those muscles to turn on to support your posture so the chest is open, the neck feels long. This is the pranavayu here. So this is what moves life force energy through your body. If you're closing it off in all of your standing poses, then you're not opening yourself up for the potential that you could be. All right, now bend that left knee a little, slide your hand a foot in front, keeping your left hip on its track, push through that foot, and then step up. Remember that the connection from your heel to your hip and your long, strong spine is what's gonna work the muscles, right? And now we got the energetic flow too, so not only anatomically you're benefiting, but you're aligning your chakras, and you got that going for you, which is good. So upon your deathbed, you'll be able to reach full realization. The Lama told you. Good, now slowly lower your fingertips down and raise your back leg up. Standing splits. Lower your right leg down. Now lift your heels up, drop your buttocks down onto your heels, and upright your chest, hands to prayer. Navel in, twist to your right, bring your hands down, and then practice hooking your knee way up high by your tricep, all the way up at the head of the tricep into the armpit, and then see if you can lean into your chaturanga arms, keeping your blades broad, using your core strength, maybe even lift your feet up off the floor. Parsva Hold for 5 minutes. Okay, now set the feet back down, fold forward, Uttanasana. Lift your heels up, lower your buttocks to your heels, hands to prayer. Upright your chest. Then plug your navel in as you twist to your left. Put your hands down and practice on the other side. Set your feet back down. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, Ardha. Exhale, step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Set your knees down. Set your elbows down. Interlock your hands. With your elbows right underneath your shoulders, curl your toes under, lift your knees 1 inch up off the mat, but make sure that your shoulders don't creep up into your neck as you do that. Keep your blades broad on your back. And then start to lift your hips up for the sky. Good. As you press down into your toe mounds, maybe you could walk in a little closer without your upper back rounding. And then try raising your right leg up, keeping that length. Press down even into your forearms from your wrist to your elbow. Change legs. Raise your left leg up. Set that foot down. Now gently lower the crown of your head onto the ground as you bring the back of the head towards the hands. But keep your back muscles very active so you're very light in your neck. Then maybe you could walk in a little closer without the upper back rounding. And same thing, raise your right leg up. Reach to the forearms. If you're practicing balancing, you can kick or bring one leg up and then the other. Otherwise, just hold there and change legs. Raise the other leg up. Then lower that leg down, set your knees down, stretch back into child's pose. So once you feel confident in getting your hips to lift all the way up over your shoulders like you saw Stacy doing with strong straight legs, then you can practice going up and over at the wall, still keeping the neck space, and then eventually trying to lift one leg at a time off the wall. But I talk more in depth about that in the arm balance course. If you have any questions about it, drop it below. Stretch back into downward facing dog now. Inhale into plank pose. Lower down onto your belly. Clasp your hands behind your back and lift up for Shalabhasana. Lower yourself back down. Bend the knees. Reach back with your hands for your feet. Hold here in this stretch, lengthening along the floor. Or lift your chest up an inch, head up an inch. Hold that one, spreading your chest muscles, or start to lift the feet and draw the feet up and back. If you have a history of lower back compression, better to just stay with the one where the chest is just lifted an inch and work on lengthening. Ultimately, go to this place where you can feel that you're getting deep opening for your chest, movement up in the middle and thoracic spine, but staying open through the lower back without it crunching. Lower yourself back down. Come up onto the knees. Stand up on your knees, hands on your hips for camel pose. Lift your heart up towards the ceiling as you roll your shoulders open with your hands on your hips. Now you can just hang out here in camel prep for 5 breaths. Or if you feel like you have so much back bend coming in your upper back, you could put your hands on your heels, that's fine, but don't force it today. You can just stay there in the prep position. Inhale back up. Sit back on your heels. Interlock your fingers in front of you, turn your palms inside out, and raise your arms up. Bring your arms back down, change the interlock, and reach up. Bring your arms back down. Then take your feet over to the left for Bharadvajrasana. This is an old favorite that we haven't done in a little while. Now, even though you're kind of cockeyed and leaning over to the side, can you grow up as tall as you can up over your hips as you twist to your right? Back to center. Legs over to the right. Sit up tall up over the center of the pelvis as you twist to your left. Come back to center. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Bend your right knee off to the side like a tree pose leg, Janu Sirsasana. Grow tall up over your hips, sit bones straight down. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, reach forward for your foot. Inhale back up. Change sides. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, reach out for your foot. Inhale back up. Lie down on your back for Shavasana, corpse pose. Turn your palms up at your side. Feet fall open. Take a slow, steady breath in through your nose. Fill your lungs all the way up. Pause at the top. Let a third of the breath out. Pause. Let another third out. Let all the air out. Again, slow, steady breath in. Let a third out. Let another third out. Let it all out. Last one, Viloma Pranayama. Ujjayi breath in. Let a third out. Another third. Let it all out. Let go completely. Let your body drop. Gently bend your knees. Roll over to your right side. And press up to seated. Palms together. Namaste. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and for being a member of the Conscious Movement community. Easy for me to say. Really appreciate that you've taken a chance, and I hope that you're finding this series beneficial so far. My goal is to just take what you learned, make sure that you're really connecting it by backing off and focusing on these actions and making it more advanced so that you'll be able to go into the 1-hour videos with ease. So let me know below what you thought. If you have any questions about the stuff that we went over, happy to work with you. And we'll see you for next week's.